A landmark challenge to Canada's prostitution laws underway at the Supreme Court of Canada today. Last year, the Ontario Court of Appeal struck down the law against bawdy houses. But the federal and Ontario governments have taken the case to the country's top court. Daniel Thibeault joins us now live outside the Supreme Court of Canada in Ottawa with more on the story. So, Daniel, what is the court expected to hear today?
Well, Nancy, the main point, at the center of this issue is, are the laws set up to regulate prostitution, put sex workers in danger, given the fact that prostitution in Canada is legal? What's not legal is running a brothel, for example, communicating with customers, living from the avail of prostitution. That's illegal. Sex workers say it forces them to work in the shadow, and that puts them in danger. Three women are at the center, or started this lawsuit in 2007. Amy Lebovich, Valerie Scott, perhaps the most well-known of all three, Terry Jean Bedford, the dominatrix. Two courts in Ontario have already ruled that it would be safer for sex workers if they could set up operation inside, if they could hire employees to protect them. The three women hope that the Supreme Court will go in the same direction. The federal and the Ontario government both say prostitutes freely choose this lifestyle, and that permitting prostitution on a larger scale would lead to larger operation and more exploitation of women. Let's hear what Terry Jean Bedford had to say on her way into the courthouse this morning.
The women involved in prostitution are not allowed to protect themselves legally. And the other two courts have told the Prime Minister that these laws are unconstitutional, but he refuses to believe it. He keeps running and cowering behind the judges, and this is going to be the day of reckoning here in Ottawa.
So that was Terry Jean Bedford speaking to reporters earlier today. Could hear some drumming around behind her, Danielle, because lots of people showing up wanting their voices to be heard. I can see quite the crowd behind you as well. Interesting, because this is a debate that's been going on for years, 6 years. In fact, it may take a while before the top court makes a decision. Do we have any idea as to when to expect a decision?
Well, it's hard to say for certain, but the court has set up 5 hours today to hear this case. At this time, it's Ms. Bedford's lawyer who's presenting his case right now. About the Ontario government and the federal government lawyers did that earlier this morning. There are a lot of people behind me. There are a lot of people. The courthouse is packed. There are people in the lobby as well. The judges, the court knows that this is a very sensitive case. They will likely take their time to weigh both sides of the issue. So don't expect any kind of ruling for the next 6, probably 9 months.